we do have a special for the dental office managers. So when they do click on that link, they'll be able to either request a demo or even a statement review, where they can send us in their statement and we'll show them exactly how much they would be saving, not in the hundreds of dollars, but thousands of dollars a month.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Dental Office Managers Community Podcast, where we talk about the issues that matter most and help us to become better leaders in our dental practice. I'm your host, Kyle Summerford. Let's dive right in. Hey guys, it's Kyle, the founder of Dental Office Managers Community, and we are on for a new webinar with NadaPayments, and we have Steve and his business partner, Roman. So guys, thanks for coming on and taking a little time out for your day today to just give us a little background information on NadaPayments.
Thanks, Kyle, for having us. We're glad to be here, and we're very much excited to join the Dental Office Managers community. And we're looking forward to helping everyone out and eliminating the cost of accepting credit cards.
Yeah, that's why we partnered up, right? So you guys are in the business of eliminating credit card fees, and just about every dental practice is paying some type of fee for processing credit cards. It's just like the nature of the beast, right? We accept credit cards, we want those payments, right? But at the same time, we have to pay for those payments. So what I like about NadaPayments is that you guys are able to help offset that cost. So why don't you give us a little bit of background information on, how NadaPayments got started and how you guys found your way into dental?
Yeah, thanks for having us, Kyle. Well, not realistically speaking, we've been in the payment processing space for over 15 years, and we shifted after about 5 years of that. So for the last 10 years, we've been in the dental space. We had lots of friends that we grew up with that were in healthcare and dentistry. So it's not just dentistry, but we focus majority on dental, a lot on healthcare as well. And what we focus on is a model known as surcharging, where it allows you to pass a fee on to your patients if they're paying with a credit card, but not with a debit, giving your patients a choice. This doesn't just help you save a little bit on your credit card processing. This eliminates 75 to 80% of the cost. More importantly, a lot of office managers that are already on board with us through their practices and the doctors that are on board, initially when they did come on board, they were always wondering, well, how are patients going to react if you're passing some sort of fee on credit cards? And once it was implemented, they realized, well, the patient can pay with a debit card right on the spot. They don't need to have cash or check on them to avoid a fee. So it promotes a harmony and balance within the practice. And by doing this model, it allows to eliminate 80% of those processing fees while giving patients a choice. That's the key to the program.
Yeah. Credit card fees suck. So as an office manager, when I get the statements, I look at it and time and time again, I'm like, how can I get rid of these fees or at least make them lower? And, in the past, years ago, in our practice, when we were working with a specific merchant provider, I actually called up the merchant provider and I said, hey, what can we do about these fees? And, they're like, oh, well, send us a statement and we'll do a review. And, they sent back a contract. They said, well, you need to sign a contract in order to get the reduction in the fees. It was like $100 less. It wasn't even that serious of an amount. In fact, I think the doctor paid me in salary a lot more for me just to sit there and kind of go through things. So it kind of wasn't really worth it in the end. So, when it comes to statement reviews with you guys, what are the typical amounts that you guys are saving practices?
Well, typically we eliminate about 80% of those fees. So if your bill is $1,000, with us, that bill would be $200. If a practice is paying $3,000 in fees, we're eliminating about $2,400 of those fees. It's very transparent. It's simple pricing. There's no hidden fees. There's no PCI fees or annual fees. It's very straightforward. This is what you're going to pay with us. This is how much you're going to save. And that's guaranteed because we do not make anyone commit to any contracts. With us, It's all month to month.
I like that. Yeah. That's like a breath of fresh air. So that's cool. So, what are some of the features you guys are what makes NadaPayments very unique as opposed to some of these other companies that are out there besides the savings? Like, do you guys have any special products within the system?
Absolutely. So, what we really are distinguished on is that we're not just reselling technology like most other merchant processing companies. We're building from the ground up. So, ever since surcharging became compliant back in 2017, we've already had a built-out system for it as a parallel solution, meaning the office manager posts the payment manually into the patient's ledger. And that was great. But then shortly right after, we already started developing and implementing an integrated solution. So that way, to your Open Dental and EagleSoft and Dentrix and CareStream PracticeWorks and various other ones, payments will be posted automatically. So not only that, you have a full system that's harmonious where you can do text to pay and email to pay and cards on file and payment plans. You can have AR features in bulk to all of your patients at once so that you don't have to have a whole separate individual sitting there and individually sending out payment requests one by one. You can do it in bulk with our integrated system. And this is something that we built out from the ground up. And all the while, it's still following the surcharge guidelines. So it lets the patient know when they receive that request, or whether it's in person or over the phone or online with a payment link, that, hey, there's a 3% surcharge if you're paying with a credit card, avoid by paying with debit. So it's giving a choice. Patients tend to choose their providers and practices based on staff, based on the expertise of the doctor and everything like that. So a surcharge model doesn't put them off. But with these features, it allows a patient to be very flexible in how they're making their payment. It allows the practice to be even more flexible in how they're accepting those payments.
Okay.
And
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
just to
Yeah.
add to that, the reason why we even implemented all these features is because we talk to a lot of offices on a daily basis. We talk to doctors and managers. And, from the doctor's perspective, it's a financial gain, financial savings. From the manager's perspective, it's the ease of collecting those payments, not having to do extra work and waste time when you can be concentrating on more important things. And once we've spoken to enough managers, we realize that a lot of offices have a puzzle piece solution where they'll have a terminal from the bank, they'll have an online login from another company, they'll use text to pay from Weave or other phone services, and they have like 5 different reports to look at, 5 different logins. So we said, you know what, why don't we just consolidate all of that, have it from one location and make everybody's life easier. And that's how we're able to kind of evolve the software to make it work for you guys, as opposed to working for us.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm definitely guilty of that in the past years where, I had, like you said, piecemealing solutions, right? And it just makes it a lot more like time consuming, kind of like you said. So I could see clearly how this would be a time saver right off the bat. The last thing I want to do as an office manager is sit there and have to like run 5 different reports, make sure they all match, reach out to 10 patients who have a balance individually, sit there and just chase down this, this payment that's owed. It's just a waste of time. Not a waste of time. I shouldn't say it's a waste of time, but it's a time killer, right? It's a time killer. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now let me ask you, do you guys provide a terminal? Do you guys provide all the hardware for the practice?
Yeah, so we are an all-in-one solution. We provide everything, not only the hardware, but we also provide the training, which is a significant portion of the whole process, because we train the staff on how to communicate this feed to the patients without having them give you any pushback, right? The first line of defense in any dental practice is the staff, the reception, the management. They're the ones that deal with actual patients when the time comes to pay. So we make sure that we educate you in a way where you know that you're never going to have a problem or an issue with passing on the fee to the patients.
Yeah, that's important. Training is, one of the things in all aspects of dental is making sure that everyone's on the same page, because, you don't want one staff member saying one thing and then the other saying another. And then the patient is going to lose trust in the practice as a whole. So training that's pretty cool that you guys offer that. What kind of like verbiage would a practice use with using this type of platform?
Typically, the idea is to be completely transparent with your patients. And that's how it works. So we provide the signage, the terminals, and the whole system itself will show the full amount, the base amount, and the surcharge, everything all in one place. Typically, we will train practice managers and their staff to quote the patient the price in full. Hey, this is 103. If you're paying by debit, it's $100. How would you like to pay? You're offering the patient that choice. You're letting them know right from the start what the total price of the treatment is. That 3% is included in that treatment. If they're paying with a debit card or cash, obviously, then that treatment is lesser than what was quoted. So it can only go down from there. When you're completely transparent with your patients and you're providing them that choice, it makes it very clear. It's kind of like a very simple solution to present that price to them rather than having an ongoing conversation back and forth about it. You start right from the top, present it in full, let them know that it's lesser than if they're paying by debit. Patients completely understand this nowadays. So not just patients, but I think everyone in general nowadays, when you're going to hair salon, nail salon, restaurant, now more or less, when you're paying your utilities and bills online, municipality and government, there's a surcharge on everything, literally. Yeah. So this doesn't surprise patients, but it rather gives them that choice and it's presented to them right away.
Got it. Yeah, transparency is key. I went to a diner the other day and it was the first time going to this diner and I got the receipt and I was like, oh, look at that. They actually added a credit card surcharge. And, me and my wife, we go out sometimes here and there to restaurants, but I've never actually seen it displayed on an actual credit card receipt. So, I thought it was good that it's transparent, right? Because then I can make the decision whether I want to pay with cash or, I want to use the credit card and pay the fee. I ended up using the credit card to pay the fee because I want the points. But, ultimately, if it's a large treatment, right, like thousands of dollars, I think that ideally, if you want to save on that percentage, then, you're going to do what you have to do, So I could see how you guys kind of come into play to definitely, help the practice out.
Also, just wanted to mention that there's also situations where offices are insurance-based offices and they can't raise their fees because they're obligated to have a price for a specific procedure. So this is a great workaround because your fee is not raised, but you are adding the surcharge for the convenience of making a credit card payment. So when an office is an insurance-based office, you can't just raise your fees across the board and call it a day. So this is a great way to reduce your cost while still being compliant with that obligation to having the fee as your fee. So it gives you more room to breathe, sort of say, as well. So I just wanted to add to that.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of practices are locked into those rates. They're in network. They can't just charge whatever they feel like it. And the insurance company reimbursement rates, they don't get any higher. They year to year they might raise it a couple bucks. They're like, here's $3 more. It's like, all right, thanks. Like, but the fees seem like they just continuously go up year by year in terms of like credit card processing interchange rates and things like that. I don't know too much about this, but you guys are kind of helping me understand a little bit more about how things work. So in terms of like, states, I know that there are some rules and legalities involved. Maybe certain states are not able to kind of participate in something like this. Is that correct? Or am I wrong in saying that?
No, that is correct. There are two states, I believe Connecticut, Massachusetts are the only two states where you're not allowed to surcharge. So they have a loophole where they call it a cash discount and they actually pass on the fee to both credit and debit cards. That's the workaround. And we do have plenty of offices that are doing that because they simply cannot do the actual surcharge program. So we do have a workaround for those states as well. That's not a problem for any office.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. So what would you say, what is the number one positive feedback that you receive from dental office managers once they switch over to NadaPayments?
From the office managers, the number one feedback is the simplicity and the ease of use of all the features. And from the doctor's perspective is, oh, I should have done this sooner.
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
savings
To save the money. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. So, for the members who would like to sign up, what we'll do is, we're going to drop the link that you guys have shared with us. We're going to put that into the comments section of this video. And any of our community members that are interested in learning more about NadaPayments and how they save you time, they save you money, sounds like they save you stress, definitely click the link below so you can learn a little bit more, maybe schedule a demo. That way you guys can start, saving on all fronts. So Steve, is there anything else you would like to share with us in terms of NadaPayments and how you guys are so awesome in the dental industry?
Sure. Yeah, we do have a special for the dental office managers. So when they do click on that link, they'll be able to either request a demo or even a statement review, where they could send us in their statement and we'll show them exactly how much they would be saving, not in the hundreds of dollars, but thousands of dollars a month. And it's always good to have information, right? We always need that information to know what's out there. So even if you're not ready to do the NadaPayment surcharge program, at least do the demo so you can see what's available, so that at any point in time where you feel like this is something you want to do or you need, you'll know and have that information in front of you.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I took a look at when you and I did the demo, I was blown away how easy it seemed to use, and how you guys integrated with certain platforms. Just one more thing before we go: are there any platforms that you are not integrated with, or your solution cannot integrate with? And then, is there obviously still a way for the practice to be able to work with you?
Yes, absolutely. There are some solutions that we're not integrated in with yet, like Dentrix Ascend is one of those. We do offer a parallel solution with the same exact features. And in our experience, a lot of the times when the office is using one of those solutions, they might not be integrated already. So it works well for them either way. And if they do need integration, we do have it on our roadmap, and we'll be able to tell you how soon we'll be able to integrate with a specific software if you really need that integration.
Cool. So you guys are staying up on top of it and trying to bring new integration to dental practices. I love it. I love it. So awesome. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on here today and sharing NadaPayments with us and our community members. We look forward to working with you guys, and thanks for taking the time out again of your busy day for today.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Always a pleasure, and we very much look forward to working with your community to make it better.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.